I am concerned about a recent commentary that we got on our the SyrianAdvocate.com website. And this particular person was saying that they feel that immigrants coming to the United States and to other countries would eventually take their jobs and infiltrate our society and eventually commit acts of terrorism against us and take over our government, etc., etc. I'd like that person to know that, in fact, most of the Syrians that they will meet have no such agenda to do anything like that. It's not part of their religion. It's not part of their culture. These people are educated people. They're hardworking people. They have families. They have friends. They have associations. Many of them have gone to college. Many of them have careers. They really don't want to leave their country. They want to remain in Syria. We need to consider why they're leaving the country and what they're looking for by leaving the country. My opinion, a much better solution than creating an environment where these people have to leave is to support an environment that would encourage people to stay. We have set up refugee camps thinking, well, okay, we'll put them in refugee camps and we'll provide them food, and hopefully they will stay there for long enough for the war to stop, for the fighting to discontinue, and for their lives to resume as they were before. And then at that time, the refugee camps would open their doors and allow people to turn to their homes and work on rebuilding their country. The problem is really, if the government would get together and allow Syria to solve its own problems, allow its government to work as a government is intended to work, and that is to have the resources that they need in order to grow crops, to provide food and clothing to their own people, for them to have electricity, and not just a few hours a day, but electricity through the day and night. Allow them to live normally as they had before. This is really what the Syrian people want and need. We do not have to have a displacement of millions of people exiting Syria and going to other countries. In fact, the best solution would be to remove the embargoes and to remove the sanctions that have been put in place and allow these people to get back on their feet again. And as far as taking care of these poor people who are refugees, I know a little bit about that. My mother was a refugee during World War II, having come from what's now Poland, and at that time it was East Prussia. She was 14 years old, lost her family. She talks about having gone a year without taking a bath, not even removing the backpack from off her back during that period of time because of everything that was going on. She had to cut her hair off as a boy because the soldiers wanted to take the women and to abuse the women, and she had to defend herself by giving the impression that she was a boy until they decided to round up all the boys and take them to Siberia. When I hear my mother and my grandmother and my uncles and talk about the experience, my heart really aches for them, because as they left their homes in Eastern Germany and came to West Germany, the West Germans didn't really want to help them. They rounded them up and put them into refugee camps and treated them very, very much in the same way that we see refugees being treated today, where it's difficult for them to find jobs. They do become a burden on society. In my opinion, we don't want to create refugees. We don't want to take them away from their homes. We want them to go home. We want them to be with their family and friends. We want them to be able to resume their work and their studies and to raise their families, to enjoy their religion and to worship their God in the way that is consistent with their beliefs.